And hello to my Cancer friends. My name is Scott Sagent. I'd like to welcome you in. Today I'm going to be doing your free psychic tarot reading for June of 2021, and we are going to be looking at a storyline spread. A storyline spread is a scatterbug of information. It usually tells like 2, 3, sometimes 4 different stories so that we can kind of touch base with all the different cancers. There are, not just one of you, there's a bunch. So usually what happens is there's one of the stories that is like a home run. There are a couple that will probably not resonate with you, and that's okay. It's all about the one that does. So we're going to look into that and see what they say about that for you. And then we're also going to conclude the general reading with a animal totem. Now that is going to be across the board for everybody, for all cancers, and that's just going to give us a little bit more insight into the month of June as far as advice, insight, information, any kind of factors that would help benefit you for the month. So we're going to get started. The cards are already shuffled. I'm just going to pull you in here so you can watch. There we go. All right, so what I'm doing now are my ritual cuts. I like to do this live on camera, the same way that I would if you were getting a private reading from me in person. Basically just cuts the deck into thirds and puts them back together in a different order. And then they're ready to run. So let's see what we have for you. Cancer storyline. A lot of blockages. So many blockages. It is taught that when you have over half blocked, that you're supposed to revert them back all rather, upright. I don't do that quite to that extreme. What I do is kind of more of like a 75% thing, and we had, what did we have? 5 out of the 6 inverted, so that's way above 75%. So it's kind of like multiplying 2 negative numbers together. It makes it back positive. So that is the way it's taught so that you can read this better. All right, so let's see how many different stories we have. Okay, we're going to have 4 different stories. Yeah, these are together. Okay, so I'm going to pull some more cards. Can you see all that? All right, we're good. All right, pull a few more cards to describe. That's fine. Actually, the rest is good. Nope, 2 more of these. Okay, and that's the way that is going to lie. I'm going to switch back to the widescreen and we'll continue. Okay, there we go. So here we have it. Let's get started. Let's see. We got our 4 stories. I'm going to start with the simplest just because it's quick and easy to get out of the way, and we'll end at the most complex because I'm going to spend the most time with it. All right, so a lot of you cancers in the month of June are going to be experiencing emotional kind of boredom where there should be joy. It should be a happy time. Events, it could be a specific event, it could just be in general, but basically what's happening is you should feel joy about this. This should be a happy time, but it's just not. There's a level of unfulfillment for you that maybe in your heart that just doesn't feel content with the current situation, whatever it may be. Maybe your love life, it may be different parts of your life, not just attached to love, but emotions do come up, so a lot of times that's attached to love. So that's why I kind of push it on that side. But in general, this is probably the most vague story that I'm going to give out of the group, so I know that's not specific and it won't apply to everybody. But for the ones that are, try to find joy in the little things. Don't get so stuck, kind of like zoom out from the situation instead of nitpicking every little thing apart, and kind of you're your own worst enemy in this regard. So just withdraw and zoom out a little bit is the advice that I would give for these Cancers. Okay, so next we're going to move over here. We have they're talking about literally a story. I normally don't pull more cards, but this has got me fascinated now. There is they're telling a story of kind of tragedy to triumph. It moves from kind of like an accident into a success, a great success. I don't know what this is. They're telling me that it's about an action that was taken, possibly in love. Sounds like a weird thing to describe it, but literally I have 3 cups, and cups are usually love. So they're saying that there was an accident, accident might not even be the right word to describe it. It's more like a failure. An accident, a failure, an oops. Something happened, but then it turned out to be a great success with a partner. So maybe this was a rough start to a relationship. This could have been a rough patch in a relationship. They're showing that an action has been taken either recently or it's going to be taken in June. So an action with love is moving things to the next level. If you're in a relationship, it's moving the relationship to the next level. If you're single, it's meeting somebody, meeting a new partner, going on dates, that kind of thing. So it's just where you're at in the spectrum is what they're talking about. But it goes literally from tragedy to triumph in June, if that's the window of opportunity you'd like to jump on and ride that train. So we got that. While I'm talking about that second story there and things that we want to bring into our life, it's a good time for me to touch briefly on the new moon. The new moon comes in on June the 10th, and the new moon is all about manifesting what you want to bring into your life. So it just magnifies that window of opportunity, if you will, and it just heightens your ability to be able to attract what you want. So it doesn't mean that you have to do it on June 10th. It's just the most powerful time if you're trying to bring anything into your life that you want to add to it. And the opposite occurs on June the 24th. That's when we have a full moon. And the full moon is, I look at it like the garbage truck. That's when you want to get everything out of your life that you don't want anymore. That's when you want to send it back to the universe, send it back to the moon with the full moon. So we might touch more on that in a little bit. Let me get into your next story. There's 2 different things that they talk about here. The first one is the number 66. I don't know if that's relevant to anybody, but I'm just reading what's here, throwing it out there. The number 66, whether it's a year or whether that's an age. That's the first thing that comes up. Just a shout out, I guess, to 66. They're talking about there's a good credit or a good money move that has been made or is being made in June. It shows a very beneficial financial transaction or move, or maybe an escrow, or a house sale for something in the surplus of money. So money is what they're showing is money is good in June. It's a good credit, literally is the definition of the way that the card is laid. And it's also saying that you're very OCD about your money. The ones in storyline 3 here that I'm referring to, Cancers, you're very OCD about your money. You want everything laid out in a certain way, towards certain projects, towards certain goals. Some of you are putting it back into work or building an enterprise with that. And a lot of you are doing that with somebody else. That's kind of like looking over your shoulder. And for those of you that are not doing a new enterprise with another person, I would strongly suggest, based on the card that's pulled, that there is somebody looking over your shoulder. They just may not be of this world. They may be a guardian to you or a deceased loved one that's looking over and aiding and giving assistance in the situation that you're working on. So that looks very pleasant as well. All right, so now we're going to move into the 4th story. This is our most complex one. Just give me a moment here to kind of digest it. Okay, so for a lot of you that have lost a loved one who is a male, this could either be a partner, this could be a father figure, this could be a grandfather. It's going to be different for everybody, but for anybody who has lost specifically a male, or you know what, let's just kind of rephrase that, because when I get male female, it's basically dominant or passive. So this is a dominant person. This just, you know, it could be a dominant female, but the card is the king. So just to be clear, this is a dominant person who you have lost. I'm assuming recently. It may not be recently, depending on how the emotions pull through and attach. But it's saying that this is a sensitive month for you. So I don't know if this is some kind of like anniversary or something important occurred in June with you and this person, or a birth date. Maybe I already said birth date, but some kind of something really tugs on a heartstring with you and this person. For the Cancers, of course, that I'm referring to here, they say that you never really moved on. It shows that you've kind of like, instead of turning your back to it and moving forward, you've kind of like dug yourself in and kind of decided that you're just in it to win it, so to speak, even though this person is not here. So they're saying that there's extra sensitivity right now. I would also argue that it's probably a really good time to talk to this person, if that is something that you'd like to do. Thoughts and prayers. They might even pop into your dream, if that's something that you'd like. And you're moving on to this new kind of chapter in regards to this person, and it's a little cloudy from what I'm looking at. I'm not really sure what I'm looking at, but it's a new chapter with this person. So I don't know if this is if they're just going to be guiding you towards something new that you're going to be doing, or just a different avenue that you're going to go and challenge yourself with. But it's a good time to understand the sensitivity and the connection, why that connection exists, why it still exists, and celebrate it. If it's a good thing, celebrate it. And of course, if it's unhealthy, you got to work toward going the other way with that. But that's, like I said, different for everybody. So I know this is a general reading, so I have to cover the wide expanse of Cancers. But if you're looking for a private reading that is specific to you, you can do that on my website, scottsagent.com. I do offer those. So we talked about the moon's cycles. We talked about the storyline, the 4 different storyline spreads. We're going to get into the animal totems right now. Animal totem for you for June. I'm actually going to leave that there. Let's see what we got for you for that. All right, so we have, believe it or not, a hippopotamus for your animal totem. Hippopotamus is a very strong animal, very thick skin. It's a good time to be tough, the month of June. It's a good time to own your territory. Hippopotamuses are very territorial. They don't put up with any second-class behavior, so I would suggest that you don't either. It's a good time for you to defend yourself if you're being attacked at all in the month of June, whether it's from a boss, a colleague, a family member, whatever it is. Really time to stand your ground. Hippopotamus, what else we got for that? Anytime they're in the water, there's an emotional aspect to it. Hippopotamuses are an animal dwelling animal, and with the emotional aspect of it, it's saying to just keep your emotions in check. Don't let them control you. Kind of be more on the side of logical, as long as you keep them straight and aligned. They also have, like I've said at the very beginning, that they're incredibly powerful. That's obvious, but at the same time, like, know your own power as well. Don't ever second guess your own power. Feel like you're weak, anything like that, because with the hippopotamus coming up for your animal totem for June, it's arguing that you have a lot of manifestation power and a lot of strength right now. So that is kind of like a double-edged sword. As long as you use it for good things, it's a very positive thing, but also just be careful about, your words, what you say, your thoughts, just keep them positive, because if they're negative, that can have a strong counter karmic effect that you probably won't enjoy. So that wraps up what I have for the animal totem. That wraps up the general reading for Cancer. I hope this was of service to you. For a very short time, to celebrate the launch of the website, scottsagent.com, I am offering a free personal reading for June, specific to you. All you have to do is sign up for the email. It's very simple. Email, first name, first initial of last name. That's it. You send that off, you're on the email list. I send one email a month just for updates of what's coming up, new content, and that's it. Nothing else gets done with it. Once that gets submitted, I'm going to send you, I call it a My Month personal reading. It's a $12 value. I'm giving you absolutely free. It's totally worth signing up for. You're going to get that within 24 to 48 hours of when you send that email through, that email button, sign up. So go ahead and register for that. Absolutely worth it. And that's going to wrap us up for right now. I hope you guys have a wonderful Father's Day, and summer's beginning in June. So get out there and have fun. We'll see you soon.